Everyone, this is Drew Creekmur, Wealth Advisor with Creekmur Wealth. Hope you guys are doing well since the last time that we chatted. In today's video, I want to dive into just some general thoughts as to what are some best practices for you to do after a crazy market run like we've experienced over the last year. And it's really important to not get complacent and to not start just feeling like, oh, stocks always go up because we know invariably they do not. It's really important to make sure that you check in with yourself during these time periods. And something to keep in mind is that volatility is a normal thing. Every couple of years, every 2.9 years on average, we experience a market correction. So the market pulls back by 10+% in a short period of time. And that happens on average about every 2.9 years. And so it's important to recognize that, you know what, a pullback is bound to happen. It is due, and that's okay. That's normal. The most important thing is time in the market, staying invested and making sure that your investments align with your goals. And, we don't know what's coming on the horizon that might cause that pullback. No one could have predicted what happened in 2020, or, no one was expecting 9/11. There were a bunch of events, black swan events, that we just don't know when they're going to occur, which is why you need to have some best practices to do whenever you're experiencing great returns in your portfolio. So let's talk about the 3 R's. First, rebalance. It's important that you, after having a year of great gains, that you take some of those gains off of the table. Right now, they're just gains on paper. Sell some of your winners. Make sure that you're broadly diversified across all of your accounts and that you're not setting yourself up for having a high amount of risk of a larger pullback because you're over concentrated in one or two positions or over allocated to a certain sector of the market, like the technology sector. And so it's important that you rebalance. Second, you need to refocus on your long-term goals. It's so easy to get caught up in the short-term euphoria of seeing some awesome gains, but invariably, we oftentimes lose focus on the long term. And the most important thing is achieving those long-term, big, hairy life goals like retiring at a certain age or paying for a child's education. And so refocus on your long-term goals. Think through, where am I at? Which will then lead you to number 3, which is to reaffirm those long-term goals. Check in with yourself. Check in with your life circumstances. Has anything changed in your life that maybe has caused your goals to change? A lot of people experience change over the past year. We're seeing right now data coming out showing how some people's views on work or on life or on traveling are starting to change coming out of the pandemic. So it's important that you reaffirm that the goals that you had going into the last 2 years are still the same long-term goals. What I would advise you to do after you spend some time thinking through those 3 R's of rebalance, refocus, and reaffirming is to check in with a trusted advisor. Right now, we're tracking a lot of things, and the market's kind of wonky right now with some very positive signs and a strong economy. But there's also some softening underneath with some inflation concerns creeping up. And so we're keeping a really close eye on this, but it's worth having a conversation if we haven't already done so. And then second, talk about your goals. Say, hey, how has the past year impacted my goals? Have I moved closer to my goals? Do we need to make some adjustments? Do we need to make some movements from pre-tax dollars to Roth accounts because of some tax concerns? Do we need to maybe reduce my risk because, you know what, I'm getting closer to needing these funds for retirement? It's really important to have that moment where you check in with yourself, you remove yourself from the emotional euphoria of seeing great gains in your portfolio, and you really check in to make sure that you are on the right path. So I would encourage you, if you haven't done so already, take some time to check in on the 3 R's to make sure that you are staying on track and in the right frame of mind to achieve those long-term goals, which is at the end of the day is the most important thing and what we here at Creekmur Wealth want for each and every one of you. Thanks for your time, guys. We will talk with you soon. Have a good one.